visible if you see me and if you hear me. And let's start. What we have? We have polymer clay. And this is my main material, which I advise for beginners. It is the most comfortable material. I use Super Sculpt Living Doll. This is bakeable clay. For new members of our journey, I want to say that this is clay which starts soft, and you can sculpt from this like from plasticine, but when you put it in the oven, in the usual household oven, and heat it, it starts firm. This is clay which we use for jointed dolls, very comfortable material. So we have clay, we have foil, and let's look how it is possible to turn it in some character. Let's start. Welcome. So let's open our package. And look how it's go. First rule, to work with polymer clay, with each clay, you have to knead it very well. Don't sculpt from clay straight to the package. So if you plan to sculpt, you have to knead it. It is rather soft material, very pleasant, very nice, but it have to knead it. I don't know what character I will sculpt. I want to test myself, and this is improvisation. I plan to start with head, and after that we will look who it will be. I don't know. So this is material we have to knead. This is first rule. Also with polymer clay, we use solvent for polymer clay. This is component that helps us to make your clay more soft. You just drop several drops inside, but be careful, it can turn our clay in rather sticky consistency. So several drops, but we needed to connect layers. I will show it later. So we use clay, we use solvent. I use Cernit brand, but also Super Sculpt brand, no difference. Just look that it have to be liquid. Sometimes it could be gel. I also to avoid too much solvent, I put several drops on usual cosmetic sponge and use a usual brush. So how we work with polymer clay? And we will work with it with so-called pre-baking. The final temperature of baking of this material 130 degrees. But to work with it, we will use temperature 110 degrees. In this temperature, it starts firm. We can continue to work with it, but it's not final baking, and we will bake it several times. I will tell you about it later. This is only for information. But first of all, our doll is empty inside. We need string inside. So first of all, we need foil base. And let's start with this foil base. How we will work. We crumple foil. Remember that the foil base have to be smaller than the main shape because you will add clay, and if you compare it, for example, with your scheme, put it into account the size of the foil base because you will add the layer of clay. It is important. So I don't plan some large character, big doll. So I try to do something not very big because I want a rather fast result. So first of all, in the base of each skull, we have the ball. We make this ball. After that, we need to add a face part. This is like chin. I have very detailed course when I start head from skull with all muscles, with all anatomy. Here I want to show how to do it. This is faster and easier way. This is improvisation for me. So I don't want to do something super anatomy complicated. Just something small and easy. So a little shape of skull. I just want to add a little more skull part. This is back of the head. Remember that the face part have to be straight. It is very important. Like this. After that, press it from the sides. Look, the skull is pressed from sides. I try don't deep very much in anatomy, but I will show you some nuances. So press it from sides. And also a very important thing, look, our skull and our head have the shape of the egg. Here it is wider than the forehead. It is a very important thing. And when we look from the front, from the face part, every time we see the back side of the head. And a very common mistake, very often mistake of all beginners, the very wide forehead. So forehead every time is less than the back of the head. So we press it. We have small egg, very small, like this. And I want to say that foil shaped have some shape when it have some air inside. If you wrap it, it is hard to shape it. But if you crumple it, it's have some shape and you can fix it. So okay, I think it's okay. And then let's wrap it with clay. And also don't crumple and press foil too much, because after that you will have to remove it. So if it will be very hard, it is hard to put it over. So we now remember that when the clay kneaded very well, it's have to be very elastic, like this. It's have not break, but have elastic, have stretch. If it is necessary, let's put drop inside like this. It's have to be very soft. You train your fingers. It is good. So look how it's soft, how it's feel it, how it's melt in your hands. When you press it, it starts melt. Yeah, now. Especially if you clay store rather long in storage maybe, or at home, it starts more soft and you have to add solvent. Be careful with this. Follow its consistency. So let's wrap everything, and in this stage try don't lose the face part and the back side of the head, so the size have to be rather equal, and we need to repeat to follow all sides of our head. This is size. So this is face part. The shape of the egg. And what it is important in this stage, very important, to work with your head, put it maybe on the stick, because your face have to be vertical. If you incline it, you immediately start to add forehead and to add the back side of the head, so you enlarge your head very much. To avoid this, put it on vertical and follow the vertical position of the face, like this. It is very important. So let's try to do it equal and follow symmetry. Symmetry is our everything and problem of each artist. Sometimes you have to accept that the world is imperfect. So press the side of the head. And also look, when we make our head, this part and the jaw is lower than the part of the head. All beginners start to round the head very lower. It's also a very, very common mistake. If we look to the head, look, it's start, and after that we have part of the neck here. Don't make this part too big. If you work with ready glass, you can start put glass in the foil base, and after that continue to work. We will insert eyes also here. I will show you, but I plan to insert not ready-made glass, but some base of glass. I will sculpt it. I will show you, but first let's make the shape of the head. This. So look. Now what we need to do? We need to find the central line, the axis, like this. Then look at our head. About a little bit about proportions. This is central line. This is the top of the head. This is the chin. And the central line, which we draw between pupils, divide our head on two equal halves. This is halves. From a line where our head starts to grow up, from this line, we can divide on three equal parts: eyebrows, this is one part, nose, and this part, 1, 2, 3. So first we find the central part of the head from this point to this point, and here will be our eyes and our pupils. A very, very common mistake of all beginners to make eyes too high. And also follow very carefully, these lines have to be perpendicular to each other. It have to be cross. So this is center. From this point to this point, our eyes we have 5 eyes. We divide on distance between eye is the same distance like an eye. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 from this and this visible parts. So we find the place where our eyes will be. So then try to divide it on 3 parts. Here our hairs will be. So 1, this is we divide, this is eyebrows will be. This is nose part. Here will be the last third part. We divide also in halves. It will be our mouth here. So you find everything. And first, let's press the place for our eyes. It is very convenient to do it with such kind of tool. Look, our eyes is the balls. It's placed inside the skull. This is a rather large hole, and our eyes is a rather large ball. But we press the place for this. We just follow the shape of the skull. We will not sculpt everything in super details because we spend a lot of time for this. But here will be nose when it will finish. This is the end of the nose from 1/3. This part, the holes on the bones. And I prepare some eyes. Look, I just bake from a white clay, maybe the smallest. It's good. Let's insert them in the center, like this. And also, what it is necessary to know, when we insert our eye in the skull, look, if we put our eye in the skull like here, it's a rather large ball. The highest point of our eye is on one line of the bones. This is how how deep our eye have to be, like this. This is one line. So we put our eyes and try to follow the central line. This is center. Though my character is rather small, so I plan to paint everything. This is not glass eyes because it is rather hard to find necessary size. And usually, if glass eyes rather small, they have a rather small white part. I don't like it, to be honest. So let's put our eyes. Look how it's well placed inside. I check the center. In every stage, if you try to destroy and it's melt in your hands, you can bake your head and continue to work with firm part. Sometimes it is easier. I try to do it when it is soft. But remember that every time it's possible to bake it. So we show nose a little. This is the place of the nose. This is our chin. So And remember that our forehead is like a little balcony above the eyes, like this. So we need to add volume here. And check yourself, all beginners lost these corners, these places. From all my students, usually I ask to add here and here volume, because we have straight line from sides and from central line of the forehead. Let's add eyebrows, arches. Very convenient to use such kind of tool. It's like little spoon. All artists usually have a lot of tools, but use 2 or 3 of them. But to find your most preferable and most convenient tools for you, you need to buy a lot of them and to test everything, check how it works for you personally. So this is because I don't advise to buy some tools, because it is better to test. And usually students in my workshop try different tools to understand what it is more comfortable for them. Let's show nose a little, like this. It's practically common to the skull. Show these bones. Maybe it is ready character for Halloween, which is come soon. And when you work with polymer clay, try to touch it very easy movement. Polymer clay like easy touch and very light work. Don't press too much or don't try to move large volumes of clay. You have to feel how it works. Look, I don't press very hard. Don't forget of the top of the head. It's round starting from the forehead, up from the top, and after that have the half of the sphere. Also, don't make forehead, don't make this straight line, also a very common mistake. Okay, let's show her mouth and teeth like this. It has horseshoes shape, very important, like how it moves. Don't make it straight. And from this is will be the end of the nose, and on the center will be our mouth like this. Now it looks hungry, sad character, but I hope we will fix everything later when we add cheeks and other relief. So let's start with lips, lower lip. Don't forget about this shape. And the upper lip. Beauty. Mm-hmm. It's tend to be like this character. We also have some volume here, but maybe I will add the nose first, and after that we will look. I try don't deep in anatomy too much. Only the main shape to avoid proportional mistakes. Let's show lips. I like her. So let's add nose. It's very soft. Maybe it is easier to bake it to continue to work. But the main proportions found the right place. It's not bad. We need to show the chin and jaw line. After that we will add cheeks, but first maybe it is better to add eyelids. Because today is no rules, we just sculpt. And also want to press in the corner of the lips to make little smile. I want to press little round holes, deepenings, like this. And try don't touch your clay and don't put it in the head because it's melt in your hands. Very soft material. It's very common to some kind of wax maybe, or butter if you have some experience. So try don't put it in your fingers because it's warm from your hands and start melt and destroy the shape that you have already sculpted. But each material have its rules how to work with it. From polymer clays from different brands, Super Sculpting brand, I think it's most comfortable for starters. It depends of temperature of your hands. If usually your hands is hot and you have high blood pressure, it's start melt, and maybe it is better to use more dry and more hard brands like Fimo. But if your hands is often cold and you have lower blood pressure or live in cold place where is cold around you, it is easier to work with this clay. This is also kind of polymer clay. It's called Cernit. Also good brand, very durable in result, but very hard to work with it. You can mix different clays, but if you decide to mix different brands, remember that sometimes clay have different final temperature baking. So be careful, look on the package, because some kinds of Fimo clay have a final temperature of baking 110 degrees Celsius. And if you miss it and start bake it on high temperature, it's darken a lot in your oven and you will be surprised with the results. Sometimes it's very, very strange. I have a very, very large burning club, those who burn their dolls, but this is necessary experience. To feel how to work with this material. Large lips, but it's not its bad. I think I try to bake it, and after that I will add cheeks, all relief, chin, also this line, because now I'm afraid that it start melt and destroy. But try to test to show eyelids and to sculpt eyelids. And I will try to sculpt everything as much as possible with face. But now it is, I know the size of the doll. It's turned to be maybe. I remember that the size of the head has 8 heads in her in the size of the doll, or if we count our size. It is 2 ways how to do it. First, you can draw the scheme and follow the scheme very carefully and try to follow all sides of head on the body and start with all parts in one time. Or you can, as in my case, I start sculpt the head, and after that I will try to build the scheme and understand the size of my doll. But it seems for me that I follow my favorite size, which is with my It's a little smaller. That this is a doll from my silicone molds, but maybe when I will add ears and hairs, who knows, maybe it will grow up a little, who knows, maybe it will be the same. This doll is size 32 centimeters, and you can do it using my silicone molds. I showed it in my Instagram how to do it. And also here in YouTube, when I invited different friends with whom I test how to use silicone molds to make dolls. If you don't want to fight with sculpture and to spend a lot of time, but to sculpt everything also very interesting. I also have regular classes, Zoom classes. You can come and sculpt doll with me, also possible option. And I also have very detailed video course with all anatomy details, but here we sculpt. So let's try to show eyelids. First, we start with lower eyelids. And remember that lower eyelids is smaller than the upper eyelids. And eyelids also, like lips, follow the shape of the sphere. For it's turn a little, it's round. It's also important. If you will follow it, your face will not like silicone problem face surgery victim. So start with small pieces, very small doll. So small, very detailed work. So start with lower eyelid, show it. And if we look in our face, look, the eyelid, lower eyelid most right, it's follow the shape of the eye of the ball, but the upper eyelid close the lower eyelid. So first it's most right, and this tear duct corner is lower. We need to show it later, so it's important to know. So let's make it a little more straight, show it. And I advise you to make left and right in one time, because every time I know all the doll makers know what I mean. When you sculpt one eye, after that it's so hard to make another eye the same. And every time I dream about the doll with one eye, one ear, one leg. So it is easier to add from one side and another side. Of course, everybody of us forget about it. But when you finish with one eye, you understand that you will need to continue with another eye every time. It is a great problem. Yeah. So it is important to follow the size of the eye. Remember that the eye, our eye, have the ball, the sphere shape. Yeah. And now I want to show the upper eyelid. If you use glass eyes, remember then if you plan to have a straight view of your doll, if you want her to look straight, eyelids have to close equal parts of color part of iris. So it's equal part from upper and lower part, it have to close on one size. And the central part have to be in the center of the. It is very hard to insert eyes and to have straight eyes. It is really hard. If you fight with this and it is very, very hard, move it aside and your doll will be with the eyes aside. Let's add here. And look, I don't show nostrils and all relief. This is only the base, which I plan to continue after baking. It is easier. So now upper eyelid. Small pieces. And in this stage, I decide the shape of my eyes. Maybe it will be Asian type, long eyes. Maybe it is round eyes with very visible eyelids. Because first I want to show eyelids, and after that, after baking, I will show all relief skin parts. This is some complicated relief, interesting, but it is necessary to understand how it's look. So. And let's show deduct. I like when it is long, and show with a ball around it, ball ended tool. Like this. A doll is very small, so I try to make eyelids very, very thin because of scale. If I want some natural look of face. Show the shape like this. So this is why I dream about one eye. Maybe it will be pirate, and we can close one eye, because make the same eye, it is very, very hard. don't scare when I will add cheeks and it's starts soft and nice. Now it's very common to very hungry girl. And let's repeat the same shape of eyelids. And carefully measure the size between the eye, because when you insert the eyes is rather large balls, and very often and very easy to make this distance very small. So between eyes have to be distance of the size of one eye. And when you insert your eyes, remember about it and try to to insert it wider, little wider than necessary, than that it seems for you, because you add eyelids. Mm-hmm. And when you make these holes and these parts, remember that these parts is lower and far than the eye, like some maybe glows when turn. It is look, we have some turn here. It's turn on this part of the head. Okay, let's try to show. I don't know how I do it because very soft material, but I will try. So now this is the central line, and very important to make her jaw line before this line. It's stop here, because if you enlarge the jaw, it enlarge your face very much, and after that you have to add the part of the head. So try to do it, follow the central line, think about it. And this is the central line. This is the line when the center of the head, and this is the part where the spine inserted in our head, and this is the large hole. Don't move it too far to the back side. Also common mistake. So let's add jaw. Like this. And also a very common mistake when jaw, my students make in one line like this. It's have bend, it have angle here, and this is angle on the line of the lips when our mouth will open. So follow also important part. And the end of the jaw will be the end of the nose, like this. This is the main proportions of the head and the face, which help us to make nice head. With good proportions. I remind you that I have very detailed video course where I sculpt with all explanations how to sculpt the whole doll. This is 17 hours how to do it. You can also come to my classes, Zoom classes. I have regular classes. If you want, you can come to my workshop in Barcelona. I invite you to. In for a week we will sculpt the doll. Or maybe you live in Barcelona, so welcome. Look. And you also can order molds of the doll. It is easier because you print all sculpture and make the doll. It is a rather easy way. If you want to make doll faster, understand how it works first. And also good because after that you will have an example of the doll and can continue to sculpt it. So from one side we make jaw, and now we also find the center line from the top, and this will be turning and bend. It's like this, and it finish here. And from this part will be our ears. So we find the main shape of the face. But now I think it is necessary to bake it. because it is very soft and it is rather hard to continue. But it starts better from each moment. And if we look from this view, we need to have a triangle. So let's show the jar. Remember that it stops before central line. Don't make the jar too big, too long. It's enlarge the face. This is bone. Look, don't lose this angle. What I speak about, this part. It's not straight. It's have here our mouth open. Okay, this is what we sculpt today. I like results. Maybe it's scary a little, but I think I will add, and I think after baking I want to add forehead and head a little, but now it's very soft and it is hard to work with it. So I will put it in the usual household oven 20 minutes on 110 degrees. This is so-called pre-baking. And I remind you the rules of baking of polymer clay. The main rule, put pieces in the cold oven and remove it from the cold oven. After that, put the pieces in the oven, wait when the temperature reach necessary volume. From this moment, wait 20 minutes and start count time. After that, switch it off and wait when it is cold. So 20 minutes in 110 degrees, it starts firm, and we will continue. So this is our results. It's base of our face. I don't know who it will be. We will look. So thank you for participating, who was with me.